In the last 100 years, the biggest night in Australian boxing history. This is huge because it's for the heavyweight championship of the world.
Guys, welcome, UnseenTV, here with Carly Meehan, exclusive interview here in Spud Carrols gym. Now, I don't know if you know Carly, but this guy's the #1 heavyweight boxer in Australia. Number 4 in the WBA rankings at the moment, and number 7 in the WBO. The first Australian fighter in 100 years to have a crack at the heavyweight title. Also, the first Australian fighter to ever fight in Madison Square Garden. Right, now I know you know Madison Square Garden.
And I knew I was fighting in Madison Square Garden for the second time.
Yep.
And I was lying on my couch watching, a few days before I went, I was watching The Cinderella Man on TV. It came on TV, and the bit that really stuck in my mind was when Braddock said to his manager, how many fighters get to say they fought in the Garden? You know? I really thought of that as I was lying on my couch. I knew I wasn't 100% fit. I knew I hadn't had sparring, but I thought, how many people can get to say that they fought in the Garden?
That's it.
I'm going to use that for inspiration. I'm not going to let him beat me. And then, matters came a bit worse when I got over there. And one day before the fight, I got a phone call from my wife who said that my father-in-law passed away. So, I could just sit there and think nothing is right, everything is not, the preparation and so forth. But I just thought, I got to use this to give me strength, and I can't let him beat me. I fought at the Garden. I've fought at the Garden twice now, and I've won. Something that I'll always be proud of.
Yeah, for sure.
Representing Australia, not only Australia, this part of the world.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, man.
And thanks, man. And now I've got an invitation to fight there again. So.
All right, cool. So on the back of that, headed over there, 9 days notice, no sparring, come out with the victory. Now, all the winning aside, it's obviously boxing's not an easy sport. And for you're over here in the Garden. Not many people in Australia know about you, mate, but it hasn't been easy for you as well, coming up through the rankings. How did you get in touch with Don King, and how did you start to get these big fights with some of the biggest boxers in the world?
Well, like you said, it hasn't been easy. It's been a long road. I'm not being from here, but where I grew up, we had our rough times too, but we didn't have guns, but we had this. But I know what it's like when my kids say, what's for dinner? And my wife says, oh, only rice or only noodles. And I'm the provider. I know what that feels like. And I know it's up to me to win this title to give them a better life. What I'm basically just trying to say is that I've got heart and I will fight. When you have two men who have heart, believe in God, believe in themselves, you can get a real good fight. I had roughly 21 fights. I had one loss. And I wasn't going anywhere. I'd fought everyone in Australia, New Zealand, around the Pacific.
Yeah, right.
One guy, Colin Wilson, I fought 4 times, and another guy I fought 3 times. And there was really nothing coming my way, so I was a bit frustrated at that. I took 2 years off the sport. Through a mutual friend, I met my trainer, Mark Jansen, who I'm training with now, who I believe is Australia's best trainer by far. I think he's world ranked. My style of fighting and his style of training just connected well, and we got in a position where we were invited to go and spar for John Ruiz. And like this place, where this training camp was right on the edge of one of the worst ghettos in America. And you go for a run in the morning, you can't run to the right because you're running into the ghetto. You can run to the left where you run out of the ghetto. And sometimes we'll be walking back from the road run or whatever, and the police would stop. Cops would stop. About 3 times this happened, and they'd ask us, do you know where you're going? We're walking into the ghetto. Yeah. We'd tell them, oh, we're going into the training camp.
And just tell us. You would look like, you're typical.
From the ghetto, Yeah. So, but I mean, it was pretty scary, and the sparring was full on. And then next thing I know, my first proper fight in 2 years, I was fighting for the WBO Heavyweight Championship of the World in Vegas. And I almost got it.
Yeah. For the Heavyweight Championship of the World, they both attack. Look at this. Sensational stuff. Big shot at the end. I think Meehan won the round. I think he won the fight. Wow.
My aim was to win the world title, the WBO title, but I was hoping that win, lose or draw, I could get some people in America saying that I can fight.
I'm the last man standing, strong arm in the store when the line is drawn.
I've done that, so in a way I feel even though I lost the fight, I won the battle.
He can punch. Thanks for hurting my jaw.
I mean, I'm proud of that effort. It's something that no one can ever take away from me, you know.
Still, that must have served as a bit more
A lot of people
inspiration
ask me,
to kind of keep you going, or was it a bit of a kick in the guts? You know, you got to pick yourself up and keep on boxing. You know.
you must, but I mean, a lot of people ask me, are you angry? You know, obviously you won. Are you angry about the decision? But in all truth, I'm not, because you know I believe that I am going to get a world title.
Now, you're training in Australia. Where are you training at the moment?
At the moment, I'm just doing all my training in my garage at home.
I know. Yes, but okay.
I mean, you know, you can, as long as you work hard, I believe there's always a way. If you can go into any gym, or you can go into a little small garage, but it's what you do when you're in there. It's what's driving you. I mean, it's not ideal.
Kelly reaches down to the depths that only champions have as he battles back. He's totally exhausted.
So moving forward, we're going to track and monitor your progress. Obviously, we're here in Spud Carrols' gym, and Spud, being the good man that he is offered to help Carly out with a bit of cardio. That'll be fun.
I might pleasantly decline. Yeah, I'll do it, Spud.
Alright, cool. And obviously we're going to do a bit of behind the scenes stuff. You're going to be there in Madison Square Garden with Carly, walking out, beaming out. Obviously Don King's biggest fight, biggest deal with HBO, fighting on the undercard. We'll be there on UnseenTV. Carly.
Thank you, thank you. Thanks everyone for watching, for giving me this bit of time throughout your day to hear what I'm on about. But yeah, like I said, I just can do my best. Boxing's a lonely sport, and try and make everyone proud.
That's it. Alright. Thanks guys. See you soon.